In a quiet village on the edge of a vast forest, mornings began with the call of roosters and nights filled with the sound of crickets. Among the villagers lived an old man. His hair was white, his steps a little slow, his back slightly bent from years of work. He was not rich, not powerful, and he lived alone in a modest hut near the river. Yet people often spoke kindly of him, for he had a calm way of listening, and his words, though plain, carried the weight of someone who had seen much in life. One morning, as he walked to the river to fetch water, he noticed something unusual. By the bank, hidden among the reeds, lay a small fox. Its fur was dirty and tangled, its paw swollen from a wound, and its eyes, usually sharp, were dim with pain. The villagers never trusted foxes. "They are cunning," they would say. "Thieves, tricksters, not to be trusted." Most would have chased it away with stones, but the old man saw something different. He saw an animal struggling to survive, just as people struggle when life knocks them down. Setting his pot aside, he crouched near the fox and spoke gently. "You look hurt, little one." "Wounds are not the end. They are part of living." The fox growled weakly, too tired to run. Carefully, the old man scooped it up and carried it home in a sack. For days, he cleaned its wound, gave it scraps of food, and let it rest on a straw mat by the fire. Slowly, the fox began to heal. But one evening, trouble came. The old man had left a basket of grain and fruit by the door. The fox, restless and hungry, tried to steal from it. In its hurry, it toppled the basket, spilled the grain, and knocked over a water pot, flooding the floor. The noise startled the man. The fox shrank back, waiting for anger. But the old man simply sighed and smiled. "Mistakes happen," he said quietly. "What matters is what you do after them." The fox tilted its head, not understanding every word, but it felt the kindness in his tone. The next day, the man walked with the fox into the forest. They stopped by a tall oak tree with a deep scar down its trunk. "Lightning struck this tree once," he said, brushing the bark. "Many thought it would die. But it grew again, bent but strong. The forest doesn't mock its scars, it accepts them." That night, when the man sat to eat, the fox again felt tempted to steal. But it hesitated, remembering the spilled grain. Instead, it waited. The man noticed, smiled, and handed it a piece of bread. "See? You're learning." Weeks turned into months. The fox grew stronger, its fur shining once more. It learned to hunt carefully, to watch, to wait. When it stumbled, slipping in a river or chasing prey too quickly, it did not despair. It remembered the old man's steady patience. Slowly, its mistakes became lessons. One night, villagers came rushing to the man's hut. "Grandfather," they said, "wolves are stealing our chickens. We tried traps and fences, but they are too clever. What can we do?" The old man thought for a while, then looked at the fox resting by the doorway. The villagers gasped. "A fox? Surely not. They are thieves themselves." He shook his head. "Give it a chance. It knows what it means to make mistakes. That can make one clever." That night, under the moon, he released the fox. Swift and cautious, it darted through the shadows. The villagers waited nervously until they heard snarls in the distance. The fox, wiser from its own failures, outsmarted the wolves and led them deep into the forest. By dawn, the chickens were safe. The villagers were astonished. "How could this be?" they asked. The old man answered simply, "The fox was not born clever. It stumbled, it failed, it learned. That is why it could outwit the wolves." The villagers lowered their heads, ashamed. They had always mocked the fox, but now they saw it differently. Seasons passed. The fox stayed with the man, walking with him in the forest, sitting by his feet in the evenings, and lying near him during village gatherings. Children grew curious. "Grandfather," they asked, "how do we grow strong like the fox?" The old man smiled. "Don't fear mistakes. Fear refusing to learn. Every scar on the fox, every wrinkle on my face, every broken branch in the forest shows the same truth. Growth doesn't come from perfection, but from persistence. Fall, rise, and keep walking." The children stroked the fox's fur, no longer calling it sly, but seeing it as a teacher. Years went by. The old man grew slower, his voice softer. The fox, too, bore new scars, scratches, a torn ear, but its eyes shone brighter. Together, they became a quiet reminder of resilience. The villagers began telling stories about the fox, how it once was wounded and mistrusted, yet grew into a guardian. Parents would tell their children, "Learn as the fox did. Mistakes are not shameful if you use them to grow." At night, the old man would sit by the fire, the fox resting beside him. He would whisper softly, "You and I, little one, are not so different." Life has taught us through many stumbles. Every scar is a chapter. And those who keep learning, those are the ones who become wise. Mistakes are not endings. They are beginnings, each one carrying a hidden gift, the chance to grow stronger, wiser, and braver. Vocabulary. List: modest, simple, not showy or grand. She lived in a modest house at the edge of town. Cautious, careful to avoid danger or mistakes. The child was cautious while crossing the busy street. Tempted, feeling the urge or desire to do something, she was tempted to eat another slice of cake. Persistence, not giving up, despite challenges. Through persistence, the team finally won the game. Resilience, the ability to recover quickly from hardship. Her resilience helped her overcome many setbacks. Want more stories like this? Click the video on your screen for more inspiring stories.